Welcome, everybody, to the Silent Hill Ascension post show. I'm Eduardo, joined here by Noah. And unfortunately, there was not much merging in the scene there. It was very, it was coin flipping, but very close. A lot of fans kind of in the audience, kind of leaning one way or the other. But that's the problem. When you have to decide an outcome, you can only do one side of the coin.
Well, maybe we will get to see stuff in the future that we didn't choose, but I don't know. But this was very close. No merging. And by the way, I can't get over, like, we're gonna talk again about Rachel and all the Hope's Junction again, but I do want to give a shout out to the emulator because what a cutie. Oh my God. He reminds me of myself sometimes when I'm frustrated and I'm like, stupid.
Very fired up, a lot of red. I can see it.
Bad emulator, bad,
But I can understand it. But Noah, the people who were close, there was at least one aspect of tonight that was close. Hagen and Astrid, together was the key word from that scene.
It's so romantic. I love them. They're so cute together. Like, Haugen, I had no idea when she entered our lives that I would end up liking her so much. For real. It's so sweet that they're together. But yeah, we had in common all those creepy ass kids seeming to have powers over the monsters. So that leads us right, Eduardo, to what we saw today.
Yes. So this is where the video that premiered today, the production team's going to put that on them in the background as we keep talking, but it's where Rachel reunites with Eric, Faith, and Nora just as monsters appear in the town square. That's going to play up on your screen. And by the way, Noah, one important thing, we didn't shout out our sponsor ever. So, Hope's Junction's Electronics Best Deals, of course, a proud sponsor of Silent Hill Ascension. Glad to have them there on screen with us. Important to shout out the people who make this show possible. Anyways.
If you go to Electronics Best Deals, make sure you ask for my cousin. It will give you a very bad deal. Don't forget it, okay? It's not broken. It just looks bad outside. But we had a horrible rejection moment here where we actually... The audience chose that Rachel, the mother, Faith belongs with her mother. And Faith is like, no, I don't like it. I don't want to.
The Faith is like, nah, I'm out of here. Like, basically, but that's it. That's actually kind of it. Oh, I like to mention Morgie at Electronics Best Deals for 15% off. Great tip there.
It's true. Ask for cousin Andre.
Yeah. So that's a that's a private joke, anyways.
You got it. Sorry.
It's okay. They won't know. Anyways, so the thing here, right, is that scene was messed up. Again, so two things, right? You're right, Noah. That decision was revealed. So Nora was actually the redemption option, the one that the audience chose not to go for. Eric was suffering, kind of in the middle. It makes sense.
It's always suffering with Eric. Eric is such a he's a sufferer.
Yeah, but you saw that line, Rachel imposing on Faith, and Faith has a little bit more, and a reminder when she says Neil that this is a 5 or 6 year old child. So again, a consideration here, but speaks with the dogs. That's good. It's important to be in tune with animals.
Sometimes I really see little Noah in Faith. The control of the animals, the evil look in the eye, but not really, of course not. But I do think that Faith gets the bossy tendencies from her mother, Rachel. Because, if there's any other person that I can imagine making all those big monsters kneel, it's Big Mama Rachel. So Faith definitely has those genes. She might deny them. She might not want to go with her mother, but she has that ball-busting spirit in her. But let's talk again about Faith and Hope, not to be confused with Faith and Hope. Decisions, endurance scenes, and puzzles all contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or damnation in the Silent Hill Ascension final. Their fate is decided across the length of the season, and a character's hope needs to be high enough for them to survive crucial story moments. Let's talk a little bit more about the interactive series here. We don't have labels anymore. It's kind of like it's all more like Life, Eduardo, where you're just really shooting in the dark and you have no idea if it's gonna be okay or not.
Yeah, no, it's right. Like you have to determine. Like that one was difficult, right? But there were a few hints actually from the scenes. Like I was watching, because I was watching the scenes closely, and there was actually I can't remember the scene exactly now, so sorry about that, audience. But there was a very key scene where somebody pointed out, like Rachel pointed out, I might not be the best person to be with my daughter. And that was actually an important realization. That was a really important hint in one of the scenes. And the thing is, we're kind of transitioning, right? We were in that mode where we knew what was up. So that's important. And actually on Monday, that was actually a really big piece of feedback. Again, for people who didn't like the change as much is, for me, it's difficult. So I like being able to know what's up and make a decision in consequence. This has changed up, so this is different now. Now it gets more difficult. So between you, the audience, you need to help each other out and try to come up with the hints. Try to spot what's going on. Try to see what's up and try to share knowledge on the scenes. Try to get those little hints because they are there. So as soon as some of the characters start talking about something they might, with an active decision, I would pay close attention.
So we get to not only play masters here of these poor characters' lives, but also, we get to play detective and use our beautiful deduction skills.
Is that what Astrid and Hagen are calling their? Anyway, sorry.
My God.
No, back to again.
She's a therapist, for crying out loud.
Was. Not a good one either, because Orson, speaking of control, Orson pointing the finger at her mother with like little buddy emulator, not a strong moment for Astra, I suspect, there as a mother.
I feel betrayed, honestly, because it was clear that Faith doesn't like Rachel from the moment she came back, but with Orson, I'm like, Orson? It too, Orson? Did you do it too? Sorry, I don't speak the language. What is this, Latin? I don't know. I come from different type of languages. But let's look at Brit's character. So, production, can you show that up on screen? Thank you. The general sentiment has been strong redemption and positive hope for our darling Brit. The top decision has been, how will Brit convince Nils to help her? And y'all chose, apologize for cutting them out, which was the redemption option, over feign romantic interest, which was the domination option. The most heated decision was, what will Brit do with her doppelganger? And y'all chose revive her, which was the redemption option, over leave her, which was suffering. Oh my God, poor Brit.
I do maintain that leaving your doppelganger is a totally reasonable response. So,
of course. Like, honestly though, Eduardo, sometimes I get so lonely. Sorry, I get so lonely.
You need more Noah in your life?
I could use more Noah, yeah.
That's fair.
Sorry, I choked because of it. It was more revealing than I intended.
To be fair, life is hard after all. Like, we don't have time in the day to do everything one person should do. So having two people kind of solves the problem in a way, right? It's like, hey, look, divide and conquer. We both do half the labor. We both have twice the fun. It's all good. Now, other Brit was fun, I would argue. And now very decidedly, very not fun.
Oh my God, no, smiling Brit, listen, if the smile, I think, let me articulate. I think, okay, a smile like this in Silent Hill Ascension, like this, that's okay. Oh. No, like this. That's okay. A smile like this, maybe. But a smile like this, that's bad news, buddy. Get out the garlic, get out the salt, I don't know, whatever you use, runes to protect yourself and your loved ones. But it is a terrifying, ominous news when somebody smells like that in our world.
No, for sure. I mean, to be fair, you said the small smile was nothing. That's the smile the children had. So I'm not convinced.
Oh, right. That's the little smirky, like, that's a little, like, I'm gonna burn you, Mom.
Yeah, they're up to no good. I gotta be honest, not the best there. And by the way, the decisions coming up with Brit here, that's hidden. That's going to be a rough one because I know the audience really want. I think out of any character, I personally think that pretty much we're going to go across the finish line with redemption. Just like the important part here is the journey, not just the destination. Remember, and you're going to see a little bit of different decisions, but because of how redemption has had such a strong lead, it's still likely going to be a redeeming ending for most of our characters. Hope again is going to probably be the most important decider. But now we got a decision with Brit, and I think the thing is, a lot of our audience wants the best outcome for Brit. Even our Damnation crowd kind of wants the best outcome for Brit because so Brit and like the struggle she's had, I think, has resonated with a lot of you at home. So guess the best because that's the ongoing decision. We're not going to talk about that too much in detail tonight, but that's in 2 days. So on Friday, we'll brief that down. We'll look into that, into what you decided. So decide wisely. Now, we did have one decision opening today. Something to do with a little bit of a creepy daughter. That'll be on screen for you, Noah, to read out to our audience. Thank you, production.
Yes, first though, I want to shout out to Ty because he says no matter what, we'll find a way to protect Brit. And this is, listen, I wish somebody out there will take care of me the way that our audience takes care of Brit. But the decision that's opening today is what will Eric do about Faith demanding to kneel? You too, Daddy, she said. Well, we can have Eric kneel. We can have him remain standing, or, surprise, grab her and run.
I kind of like that. It's like a football analogy. She's small. You can carry out. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go, Eric.
Yeah, like, I guess if I knew anything about sports, like, do you dribble the child?
If you do something about kids, probably you should dribble the kid.
Do you use a bat?
This case, to be fair, in this case, given the monster stuff, losing the kid isn't that bad. But again, Eric is kind of like, always been on the line of being a good father. And this is where, like, do you listen to your child who has the Christine monsters under their control? Like, being a good father might not be listening to everything your child wants and needs. Like, what your child is telling you they want might not be what they need. And this is a really good parenting test for our audience. What should a father who really cares about their daughter do in this spot? I think that's a good way to look at this.
That's a really good question for our audience, for all the daddies out there looking at us. What would you do? Would you kneel? Would you remain standing? Or would you grab that kid, dribble it, and throw it across the hoop for everybody? I'm like combining all the sports.
Yeah, just launch her as well. Probably launch her carefully, but the launching. I think that's kicking the kid. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but
kick the baby.
I like to yeet it across the street. That's a good one for sure.
Well, I see that Cheese Rainbow says, I come here to not parent. Well, I'm sorry because these characters are all your children essentially, and but it's nice that you can control something here. Which you might not in your own life. Not to presume. I do not know.
That's one thing. But like the children are controlling the monsters. So let's actually stop a bit. I think because we're going to be at the end of our show soon, but I think that's one very important difference today that's been presented. Like, tensions rising, things happen. But today there's been a deciding shift. The monsters are listening to the children, and the children aren't exactly using the monsters in the nicest possible way. It's not like I can control the monsters. Don't worry, everybody. Everything's gonna be fine. It's more, mommy. Here. Go, mommy. Let's go. Little bit of a different take.
Yeah. So great. Well, kids will be kids, but let's talk about what happened. Like you said, Eduardo, we had our spooky wookie children controlling monsters, and not in a friendly way, I suppose. And we're gonna have to see where that goes, because we don't know if they're trying to kill their parents, if they're trying to, maybe they just like want to eat ice cream in the morning. Maybe that will solve it. I don't know. But stick around in the app, because you can play the puzzles. I find them very soothing for my very raw nerves. Production, can you call up the next show graphic? Oh, by the way, the puzzles are also a good way for influence points.
Now I want ice cream, by the way, Noah.
Oh my God. You know that I don't like ice cream? That's my toxic trait. I only have one.
Oh, but I'll have ice cream there's a little bit of an interview that's going to play on Friday. I should get ice cream for that.
Oh my God. So let me read that for you. So, okay, I'm going to get to it. But, okay, no, I'm spoiling it. There's an interview on Friday with Trude Astrid Oynes. I don't know how to say the name correctly.
That's about right. It's about right.
Please forgive me, but I'm very excited, because we're going to get to hear what Astrid has to say about Hagrid. But let's revert a little bit. Pre-shows, we have them at 5:40 p.m. Pacific times, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then we have a new episode of Silent Hill Ascension every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And on Friday, be sure to be here, because we're going to have an interview by the wonderful Layla with our Astrid Trude Oynes. So be sure to be here for that.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. And one of the things that's important for our audience, unlike other interviews, this one is recorded rather than live. We decided to be played nice with Trude, because she lives in Norway, and 2 a.m. live felt a bit harsh. Mm-hmm. So we did record it. I got the pleasure to sit into that. I know you're going to have a great time on Friday. So please, we're gonna put that recording live on Friday. As Noah mentioned, I'll be with Layla. Noah and myself, though, will be presenting that show on Friday. So don't worry, we'll talk about all the juicy story bits for sure. I just wanted to make sure we had expectations. And I know some of you like to ask our lovely guests questions. That will be a lot rougher on this one, because, well, we don't quite have time traveling technology. We just have a lot of fog on the show.
We don't, Eduardo, you promised.
So I tell you, the important question, one of the two was asked. I think it's pretty obvious which one we probably asked, to be honest, but we asked one of two important questions. So you'll get the answer to one of them, which I understand. Look, I gotta say, may the merge be with you tonight.
Oh my God.
Because it was with Hagen and Astra tonight, because it was with the Monsters and Faith tonight, and because it was with Orson and the Immolator tonight. A lot of lovely bonding, not necessarily very lovely bonding scenes. And again, a shout out to our sponsor, Electronic Best Deals, who makes all of this possible.
Cousin Andrew will fix you up, don't worry.
Yes. So I am going to sign us off for tonight. I hope you, the audience, had a great time and a wonderful time with us. We'll be back ourselves, Noah and me, on Friday. But of course, live shows weekdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Brand new scenes are coming up tomorrow. If you want to tune into this live, do so. If you need to, take a little bit break, don't worry. It's always available on Catch Up. We want to make sure that you enjoy Silent Hill Ascension as you can and as you want to. So it's time to sign us off. Wherever you're at across the world, morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I hope you don't have too much fog where you live. I hope you had a delightful time in our company, and we can't wait to see you again on our next shows. Please take care and have a wonderful time.